What up, USA? It's Josiah Edwards coming at you with a post-meet video. I've been real bad about my videos lately, and I apologize for that. There's a lot of stuff going on in my life. I'm getting married next July, so I've been dealing with that. I had a lot of preparation for this last meet. It was pretty crazy. Also, just my work. I mean, I work probably at least 50 hours a week. So that plus the powerlifting makes it very difficult to get videos up, because when I'm not, working, I'm juggling the powerlifting with spending time with my fiance. So that makes everything a little hard. I can't take time away from her, to just further my sport. So, because without her, honestly, none of this would really be possible. She supports me unbelievably, and it's such a blessing. So, kudos to her. I give her a shout out. Alright, first things first, the meet. Basically, sorry about that, I'm driving a work truck, so the video is going to be a little bouncy. So I weighed in at 211, and this was the first time competing in the 220 weight class, and it was pretty nerve-wracking because, most guys who compete in the 220 weight class are very close to 220. I had one guy that I knew personally, Phil Capps. He is a fantastic lifter, a USAPL judge, but we competed against each other, and we were always neck and neck. It was great. If you can find somebody that at a meet that that happens with, I highly recommend it. It is awesome, and you can just support each other while still being competitive. But I weighed in at 211. He weighed in at 209, and we really went at it. Squat went extremely well. I went 435 as my opener just to get on the board. Very safe. I have tripled that in the gym. I knew I was going to crush it. Sure enough, got it. Awesome. Second attempt, 475. This is a PR. Crushed it. I mean, just buried it. But I didn't wait for the racket command because the judges were confused by the guy setting up my rack where they had put the jacks in, so for a wide hand position, and I have a short hand position. So they confused me, and the judge was motioning me to come forward and squat, and they were still arguing about was it in the right place. So I just squatted it, and I didn't, even though I made it and I was below parallel and it counted as a good lift, it was denied me because I had not waited for the command. So I was pretty pissed off, and anytime I get angry, my adrenaline goes up. This is the same with anybody. You get angry, your adrenaline spikes, you're ready for something. So I was like, fuck it, put 501 on the bar, and I did. So I've never squatted over 440 before, period, and I had already just squatted 475, so my adrenaline is pumped because of this. So 501, I get under there, I unrack it, it's light. As soon as I unracked that and that was light, I knew I was going to squat it. So I take my step back, make sure I wait for the squat command, I squat, I come back up, and about 3/4 of the way up, it got hard. But all I thought of was don't quit, drive your hips through, and drive your head up, or chest up. And I did, and I struggled through it, and got it. Stood up with it, waited till they said rack it, and walked it in, and they gave it to me. So there you go, 501 for a 60-pound meet PR. That is unreal. I mean, just phenomenal. One of the best PRs I've ever had. So then we move on to the bench. So my whole goal going into the bench, because it is my weakest lift, was to break 300. I wanted 315, but my goal was to break 300. So I opened light with 275, crushed that, no problems. Then I go to 303, had to grind it out a little bit, but I crushed that, got it. Then I put 315 on the bar, and when they unracked it for me, I kind of skipped the start command by a little bit, so I already knew the lift wasn't good, but I wanted to try it anyway, so I did. And I get it down to my chest, and the female judge says press, and I begin to go up, and I get about halfway to about a 2-board position, and it just stops. I mean, completely just stops right there. I cannot push it any farther. So they took that, so I went 2 for 3 on the bench. I was happy I got my 303, which means, you know, I got the PR I wanted. Then we moved to the deadlift. Now, I had been training this entire cycle to pull sumo, and I've never pulled sumo in a meet before. So after squatting 501 and benching 303, and you know, doing that, my right hip is extremely sore. So I made a call to go back to conventional, because I have only missed 1 pull in a meet deadlifting conventional, so I was pretty confident with it. Knew I could pull over 500 in conventional stance, and which was my goal. So I did. And my first attempt was 495, easy. Just smoked it. I was like, all right, sweet. So I go to 518, which is a PR. The last thing I squatted in or pulled in a meet was 507. So 518 comes up, no problem. I'm like, all right, well, my hip's really sore. I've had a PR. What do I want to jump to next? So I put 529 on the bar and crushed it. I went too low. I left weight on the platform, which is a no-no. And I should have gone like 545 to 555. It would have been a really hard fight to get 555, but I think I could have done it. So, all in all though, I was extremely happy because I totaled 1333, which is up from my last total of 1280. Very big PR for me there. I crossed that 1300 mark. I PR'd in every lift, and I went 8 for 9 on all my attempts, only missing that 1 bench press. So that was a fantastic meet, and God really blessed me with the ability to do that, the strength and not getting injured at all. So now, having done that, I actually qualified for nationals, and that's exciting because I've never been to nationals. So what will happen is I have 4 months from now to July 19th when nationals are down in Orlando, Florida, and I am changing up everything. I am going to do the Shako routine, which is pretty much all paused reps at 70 to 85% of your 1 rep max on all the lifts. So I will be doing that. I am changing up my diet because I have to come down to 205, and I really, I don't mind having body fat, but I don't want unnecessary body fat because I'm not a super heavyweight. I have no intention of ever being heavier than 220, and I don't need to do that at all. So, plus I'm getting married next year in the summer, and of course, I want to look good for the wedding and the honeymoon. So there's some vanity tied into it, but mainly it is because if I can drop down to between 198 and 205, next year at the Battle of the Border, I'm going to win that weight class. I say that right now. I will win 2014 Battle of the Border 198 class. And I really, really, really am going to train my ass off to do this, because it will be my only meet next year, since I'm getting married July 4th of 2014. My only meet will be Battle of the Border, and I'm going to go balls out. So to get there, I'm really going to need to squat in the high fives and deadlift in the high fives to, I want to pull 600 by Christmas this year of 2013. So that would allow me to pull 600 or 6 plus at the 2014 Battle of the Border. My biggest issue to winning that is my bench press. I have to get my bench press to 365 or higher to win the 198 class, because my bench press is holding me back so much. So I've already talked with my trainer. You know, we're, like I said, starting the Shaco program to really try and work out the kinks. Yeah, I may throw in, after we do the prep for nationals, may change it up again, do something different, and see where that takes us. But my biggest thing, I believe, is consistency in lifting and diet. And I have not been consistent with my diet up to this point, and that is something that I'm changing, because the diet, I've got to have the 1 to 2 grams of protein and carbs per pound of body weight. I need to get my fats right. I need to stop probably overdosing on supplements and really just bare bones it and use what I need and nothing more. You know, if there's a supplement or something that I can throw in that, you know, helps, great. But my meets are drug tested. You know, I compete in the USAPL, which is a drug tested federation. You know, so there's automatically stuff that I can't take. Like, I can't take Jack 3D. I can't take Celluc or C4, Napalm, No Explode. I mean, there's, you know, a lot of them I can't take. I can take Muscle Farms, Assault. I can take a lot of Universal or Animal Pack stuff, and I really, like, that's my staple vitamin is Animal Pack. I never get away from that. So, you know, I'm limited. A lot of times I just drink a cup of coffee before my workout, nothing more. So, you know, I'm fine-tuning everything, and I'm getting also really into rolling out, making sure my muscles are very well taken care of, because my ultimate goal in this sport is to basically make it to, I'd like to make it to Worlds one time. And if I were to do that, it would just be a great experience. So, but that's it for me today. I'm going to try, like I said, to get you guys a video every Sunday. I'll also try and post some videos about my food, my diet, what's coming up with that, so that, you know, you guys can have some sort of an alternative to, you know, powerlifting's stereotype of just lifting heavy things and being a fat ass. That's not the goal. The goal is to set PRs, constantly break your PRs, train smart, heavy, and accomplish your goals. That is what powerlifting is all about. Not being fat or eating fast food 24/7. You know, it is what I said. You've got to grind it out. It is about the grind. So, this is Josiah Edwards signing off. I'll catch you next time.